Location: Fort Lewis Military Base, Washington, D.C. Date: May 18th. Time: midnight. The sky above the base was black as oil. All around was silence. But in the room of the operational headquarters, the alarm was already screaming at full volume. "What the hell? Is this a drill?" asked Sergeant Vince Marlowe, rubbing his eyes. "No, sir," replied Private Travis, holding the radio. "We have real casualties in a village nearby. Patrol 4-3 is not responding. Cameras are showing something strange. There are pixels and noise on the screen. But you can see people are attacking people. Without weapons. Without reason. And they don't die after being shot." "Is it a virus?" muttered Lieutenant Kayla Storn, commander of the Thunder Assault Team. "It doesn't look like it. This is something new." Thunder Squad, an elite 6-man assault team, is ordered to move into the infected area. Their mission: to assess the situation, evacuate civilians, and eliminate the threat if possible. Kayla checked her equipment. Heavy checkmark assault rifle. Heavy checkmark tactical armor. Heavy checkmark camera helmet. Heavy checkmark grenades. Heavy checkmark antivirus syringes, just in case. "We do not shoot at anything that moves. First, we observe. This is not Call of Duty, this is reality," Kayla said into the radio. "But if it bites, I'm not waiting," Marlowe added, locking the door of the armored car. They leave. The last thing they saw before they disappeared into the darkness beyond the base gate was a flickering light over the horizon, as if something was burning. And then Kayla said, "If this isn't a drill, it's the beginning of the end." The place, I-5 Highway, 12 miles from Fort Lewis. The rain was pouring down. The armored vehicle's headlights pierced the darkness for only a few dozen meters. The Thunder Squad was moving toward the town of Union Gap, where the 4-3 patrol was last seen. "We are approaching the coordinates." "All eyes are open," Kayla said, checking her radio. "For -3, this is Thunder Squad leader. Are you on the frequency?" Silence. Only the sound of rain. "I'm not happy about this," Marlowe muttered, readying his assault rifle. The entrance to the city. The houses were dark, without electricity. There were abandoned cars on the streets. The car horns continued to blare, though there was not a soul inside. "The neighborhood looks too quiet," said Private Oliver Vega, a newcomer to the squad. His voice trembled slightly. "We're stopping," Kayla said. "We'll walk from here. The map shows an abandoned store. Civilians could be hiding there." 125, the entrance to the Evergreen Mart store. Soldiers entered from two sides. Inside, there are scattered food, broken shelves, puddles of, not water, blood. Fresh blood. "Contact on the left," Vega called out. A man ran out of the dark corridor. His body was thin, his eyes were glassy, and his jaw was bloody. He didn't even slow down. He just ran at Oliver, roaring like an animal. 3 shots. The target falls. But he gets up. What the Vega backed away. Kayla gave the command. In the head. The last shot hit him squarely in the forehead. The body fell and did not move. "It's not drugs. It's something worse," Kayla said. "From now on, we act like a biohazard zone. Respirators, filters, minimal contact." She looked at the corpse lying in the hallway. This is no longer a person, and there will be many more of them. Location: a residential neighborhood near a store. After the first real battle with the infected, the Thunder Squad began to act with extreme caution. They moved in a tight formation, overlapping each other. Every sound seemed to be a threat. "We have the coordinates of the last transmission of Patrol 4-3. They send an SOS signal somewhere here," Kayla said, pointing to a small private house. The door was open. Inside, broken glass, overturned furniture. There was blood everywhere. "Here's the transmitter. Working." "But there's no one there," Travis said. Then there was a sound. From the basement. A faint shivering of metal, like a chain. "Let's check it out." "Clear the sector," Kayla ordered. It's dark in the basement, but the flashlights pierce the gloom. There are 2 figures in armor in the corner. They're alive. One is sitting, the other is chained to a battery. "Sergeant Hawks," Marlowe said in surprise. "Alive, but wounded." "The other one is Private Lehman." "Stay back." Kayla moved closer. Lehman was growling, twitching, but not talking. His eyes were dead. His hands were bitten. He bit 2 of them. "I tied him up. They could not kill him. He was with us. But he's not human anymore." Hawks could barely speak. After a short meeting, Kayla makes a decision. Lehman, eliminate. Hawks, evacuate. We need a medic. And most importantly, we have proof that the virus is transmitted through bites. Now it's official. Shot. 1. Accurate. Lehman didn't twitch anymore. Silence on the radio again. But something else is heard outside. The sound of footsteps, a lot of them, and not a word. They have come. And they know there are survivors here. Everyone take cover. They're coming. Kayla shouted, running out of the basement. Through the windows, she could see dozens of silhouettes moving down the street slowly, limping, some crawling. Others ran in jerks, without any coordination. But all of them were heading straight for the house. Damn it. It's a pack. Marlowe automatically checked the magazine of his pistol, and we're trapped. The group took up positions on the second floor. They blocked the entrance with furniture and mined the stairs. Kayla organized. 2 snipers in the attic. 1 with a machine gun in the window. 1 near Hawk's wounded body. 1 in the yard in case of a breakthrough from the rear. Don't panic. We shoot in waves. We shoot at the heads. Save ammunition, Kayla instructed clearly. 2:46. It has begun. The first zombies reached the gate and immediately attacked it with inhuman force. Though it cracked. In a few seconds, everything fell down. The first row opened fire. The head. A head. Some fell the first time. Others only after the second or third. They're faster than they were in the store. Vega shouted. These seem to have adapted. An explosion on the stairs. A mine stopped 5 of them. But that was only the edge of the crowd. The battle line was cracking. Hawks was suffocating. All resources were melting away. We can't hold out much longer, Marlowe sighed, splattered with blood. Kayla looked at the map. She took off her helmet and looked at her team. We have half an hour at most. After that, we'll be eaten. Or they'll turn us. We are preparing to break through the ring. Weapons to the maximum. After that, we will either survive or become the same. And outside, behind the walls, the roar of the crowd echoed. As a signal for the last battle. Time is up. They're coming from everywhere, Kayla said as she watched the infected break through the front door. The car is still there, in the alley. If we break through, we can get out, Marlowe replied, checking the last store. Their Cougar armored vehicle was 2 blocks away from the house where they were holding the line. There was no chance of driving, so they had to run on foot, fighting their way through the crowd. Marlowe, you throw the smoke bomb. Vega, you carry Hawks. Travis and Jen, cover the rear. Everyone on my signal. Don't panic. A knock. Cracking of wood. The door gave way. The first infected flew in with a roar. Grenade. Travis yelled and threw a stun grenade. Bang. While the zombies are blinded and disoriented, the squad runs out into the yard. Smoke fills everything around them. Visibility is 5 meters. But everyone knows the route. Let's go. To the north alley. Kayla shouts, firing short bursts. Running through the night. The infected pop up from all sides, as if they smell blood. Vega is dragging Hawks, who is groaning in pain, with his last strength. Marlowe, walking ahead, sees his armored car at the end of the street. The glass is intact. The doors are locked. There's still a chance. Travis. Open up, he calls out. We're boarding. The last seconds are the worst. The infected are almost close. Travis fires back. Jen throws another smoke bomb. Vega falls down with Hawks at the rear hatch. Everybody inside. Kayla is the last one in and slams the door. Marlowe starts the engine. The armored car roars to life. The infected rush at the hull, hitting it with their hands and heads, but the armor holds. The armored car rushes through the night city, running over everything on its way. The rain washes away the blood from the windows. Everyone's heart rate has not yet slowed down. We're alive, for now, Vega wheezes. Did you get the full recording from the helmets? Kayla asks. Yes. And we have Lehman's body with us. For analysis. But Marlowe falls silent. Kayla looks in the rearview mirror. There are dozens of silhouettes in the darkness behind her. They were running. They've learned to stalk. We're going back to base. But this is no longer a localized outbreak. This is the beginning of a new war. The Cougar armored vehicle pulled up to the main checkpoint of the base, its headlights cutting silhouettes out of the darkness. But instead of familiar faces and guards, there was emptiness. Where is everyone? Whispered Marlowe. Kayla stepped out first, rifle at the ready. Fort Carson is a Tier 1 operational base. There should always be security. This is not right, she added. Entrance to the base. The gate opened automatically, as if someone had recently activated it. Inside, it is semi-darkness. No sound, only the wind rustling through the abandoned flags. Stay alert. It could be a trap or, even worse, an infestation, Kayla said and signaled to move on. For '09, the main building. Inside, there are signs of a hasty evacuation. Scattered documents, empty stretchers, overturned tables. There is blood, but no bodies, no infected people, no one. The server room is intact. We can transfer the video from the cameras and the infection data, Travis said, already hacking into the computer terminal. Kayla looked at the recorded video. Camera footage, 301. The video shows a group of medics in gas masks dragging an infected soldier. Then there is panic. One of them rushes to the others. In a matter of seconds, the virus is out of control. There's gunfire. Screaming silence. Then, darkness. The base was lost an hour ago, Vega sighed. We were too late. For 21. Radio contact. Suddenly, a wheezing on the air. The signal is on the military channel. I repeat, this is the remnants of the Beta unit. We are blocked in Hangar 7. They are everywhere. Please help. Kayla turned around. Hangar 7 is on the other side of the base. If there's anyone else alive, we can't leave them behind. What if it's a trap? Said Marlowe cautiously. If we don't go, we're not soldiers anymore. We're just survivors. Preparing for a sweep. Charging up. We are clearing every sector. We are the Thunder Squad, and we do not abandon our own. And in the semi-darkness, to the barely audible roar of the wind and fear, the team moved to search for those who might still be alive. Darkness hung over the base like a storm cloud. Traces of the battle were becoming more and more visible. Shot doors, blood on the walls, traces of dragging. It was less than 300 meters to Hangar 7. Something is wrong here. No movement, no people, no zombies, Travis whispered, peering through the thermal imager. Maybe all the infected have already left the sector, or are just waiting for us inside, Kayla replied. At the entrance to the hangar, the door was half ajar, pitch black inside. The air was heavy, saturated with the smell of metal and rot. There were shell casings and a broken flashlight underfoot. I'll go first. Marlowe turned on his headlamp and slowly entered. The others followed, glancing around every corner. The hangar was filled with old armored personnel carriers and boxes of ammunition. And silence. A piercing, abnormal silence. There's no one here. Vega looked around. Was the signal a trap? No. It was pre-recorded, said Travis, who had already connected to the terminal on the wall. Someone set it up. But why? Out of the darkness, from under one of the transports, something different rushed at them. Tall, thin, with disfigured arms reaching for Vega's neck. Mutated. Kayla screamed. Fire. The squad opened up with a barrage of fire. But the creature was faster than the usual infected. It managed to knock Vega off his feet before Travis unloaded a full magazine from his machine gun. The creature trembled and froze, letting out an unnatural moan. The first mutant. It's not just an infection anymore, Kayla said, examining the corpse. And if there are more of them, Vega whispered, wiping the blood from his face. Then our chances of survival are nil, Kayla replied. But for now, back to the armored car. We have to hand this over to the command. The real ones, if they still exist. A new sound came from outside the hangar. Not a scream, not a growl. It was a radio. A live voice. Anyone who can hear this. I'm Dr. Hart from the Civilian Control Center. We found something, but we're surrounded. The Westmont area. I repeat, Westmont. Kayla looked up. New course. If there's a scientist there, he might know what these things are. And maybe how to stop them. The armored car roared to life, racing across the deserted highway. The light of the headlights had not yet broken through the morning darkness, but the sky was already turning gray. The air was thick with the smell of smoke and chemicals. Are we sure this is where we're going? Travis asked. In the middle of a contaminated area. Yes. If this Dr. Hart guy is for real, he might be the only one who understands what's going on. And if not, we'll find out soon enough, Kayla replied, keeping her eyes on the map. The entrance to Westmont. The city looked like a battlefield. Wrecked cars, smoke over the roofs, broken windows. The birds were not singing, but the radio signal was still coming. It was leading to the building of an old public hospital that had been converted into a temporary research center. Any signs of life? Asked Kayla. Thermal sensors show nothing. But the signal is coming from the underground level, Travis replied, watching the monitor. 551. Hospital. The team cautiously went inside. It was dark inside, but not empty. Traces of a struggle, spilled fuel, claw marks on the walls, the remains of equipment. Near the elevator is the body of a scientist with a CDC patch. That's not Hart. Marlowe held up the badge. The elevator's not working. Let's take the stairs down, Kayla orders. 5:55. The underground level. The silence was more frightening than any scream. The corridors were narrow, the lighting was emergency, everything was flickering. And then, a voice came from behind the laboratory door. Don't shoot. I'm Dr. Hart. I'm alone. Open it. Slowly. Kayla kept her sights on the door. The door clicked open. Inside is a man in a hazmat suit, emaciated but alive. Dr. Hart. You're military? Good. Listen. We've discovered that the virus is changing. The standard symptoms are just the beginning. There are mutations, and they are already being transmitted, even through the air in some areas. I've collected data and samples that can help us develop a countervirus. But I can't get out of here alone. We will take you out. Do you have samples? Kayla asks. Yeah, but Hart looks back at the lab safe. The containment system is jammed. It's supposed to go off automatically if you try to break in. If you get it wrong, it'll destroy everything. Travis is already leaning over the panel. I only have one shot at this. If it fails, it's over. The choice. We'll only make it before sunrise. In 45 minutes, this sector will be covered from the air. We either take the samples and run, or we stay here forever. Kayla looks at her watch coldly. There is silence. Travis's fingers hover over the panel. One code. One chance. There's no time, Kayla whispers. Travis stood in front of the panel, his eyes running over the worn keys and the screen with the access code. 4 digits. One chance. A mistake and the safe with the samples would burn in the automatic disinfection fire. If there is any clue, he muttered. Dr. Hart paced the room nervously. The system only identifies a personal code, mine. But I don't remember exactly which one I left. I changed it several times. He fell silent. The starting date of the pandemic. The day we first detected the mutation. March 11th. Try 0311. Travis took a breath. He pressed it. Beep. A green light. It's opening, he shouted. Inside was a metal container with 3 isothermal capsules. They contained mutant tissue samples, blood ampoules, and a yellow flash drive with the inscription. Project Umbra, Phase 2. What is this? Asked Kayla. Hart lowered his voice. This is proof that the mutation is not natural, that it was altered artificially. The virus was out of control, but someone wanted it to mutate. This is more than an epidemic. This is an experiment. Exit. Everyone ready? Kayla nodded. We're leaving through the north entrance. It'll take 5 minutes to get to the armored car, tops. Otherwise, we're going to be blown up along with this lab. I'll take the case. Marlowe grabbed the container. If anything happens, kill me, but save the samples. The street. The sky is starting to lighten, but every second the city around us comes to life. New mutants come out of the shadows. Faster, smarter. They don't rush, they watch. They're learning. They're studying us, Travis whispered. The first mutant stepped forward. His gaze was not wild. He's aware. Kayla raised her assault rifle. Don't let them stop us. Run. Gunfire. A jerk. The armored vehicle was already visible between the broken buildings. But the mutants were coming from the flanks, from the roofs, from the tunnels under their feet. Every shot was a fight for seconds. Go. 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 Kayla shouts, covering Travis and Hart as they throw the container into the car. The engine is running, pulling away. The car breaks out of the destroyed city, breaking through the last barricade. Explosions behind. The bombing has begun. We have the samples. We are alive. But if the doctor's right, this is just the beginning, Kayla said, clutching the rifle. And the world as we knew it won't be coming back, Marlowe added. The armored vehicle hummed as it made its way through the remains of the city. Morning was dawning, but the world around them was a different place. Destroyed buildings, burning cars, shadows of mutants still roaming the streets. We're the last hope now, Kayla said, looking toward the driver. These samples could be the key. Travis was at the radio, trying to make contact with command. Team, this is Thunder Squad. We have survivors, we have samples. We are waiting for instructions. I repeat, we have survivors and samples. There was a crackle on the air, followed by a faint voice. Thunder Squad, do you copy? The commander is here. The situation is critical. The quarantine zone is expanding. Support is minimal. Your actions are the priority. Keep the samples. Avoid contact. Retreat to evacuation points. Suddenly, the radio went silent again. Marlowe looked at the others. We know this isn't just a virus. That this is an experiment. and that there are many more battles to come. Kayla clenched her hand on her weapon. But as long as we're together, we have a chance. We're not just survivors. We are a fighting unit. And we're going to take this world back. The armored vehicle drove forward, breaking the silence of the dawn. And while the first sun of a new day was shining over the horizon in the distance, the Thunder team was preparing for what was to come.